we've got the amazing, talented, creative adventurer, Alistair Humphreys. How you doing, Al? Oh, there he is. Loud and proud. Wow, it's delayed.
This is very delayed. I can hear you. So have you got what's your first question for me, Danny?
Well, really, I just want to know, like, what this, obviously One Run Global is all about unity. It's all about togetherness. Obviously we know each other, but what does that mean to you? What has driven you to be part of this event?
Well, I'm such a fan of togetherness that I've come up to the top of a hill all on my own, and I can't see another human for miles around. I wanted to be part of your epic event for a couple of reasons. One was just the sheer joy of getting a lot of people outdoors and active and physically engaging at this grey, grotty time of the year. Two was just the joyful audacity of your project, and I think anything that's big and crazy and a bit ridiculous is worth supporting. And three, this year has been the year of all years, and I think if ever we need something to be friends virtually with people across the continents, then now's the time for it. So I just like the fact that there are random people but kindred spirits all around the world joining in. So yeah, I'm happy to be part of it.
Ah, Mega Man. The idea of running yourself and hearing those echoes all around the world really does something for me. And to think that, you might be running, you might be sweating, you might be breathing hard, but there's thousands of other people doing it at exactly the same time in totally different places. That really got me going for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. Have you had any good stories of people who've got going so far ahead of us in the time zones?
Yeah, we've had so many people. We started off this morning with a beautiful interview with the guy from Kiribati who kicked us off, and he went down onto the beach. He had a few school children with him, picked up some litter as they ran, all that sort of stuff. So we're totally heartwarming. And then we're inundated. All the computers, as soon as we're offline, all the computers get switched on again, and we just hear this ping, 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 as everyone's sending us their pictures, their videos, their messages of support, all that sort of stuff. It's just so mega.
So is it you that's broken Instagram today?
But that's what we thought it was, actually. About 9 o'clock, I sat here and said, we've got tech sorted. I was just like feeling really smug that we'd nailed it. And then the messages started coming in that Instagram was broken and so was Facebook. So yeah, that's what's led us to this, which is still just good.
It's all good. I'm not sure. I'm trying to show off my assets to you, Danny.
You're looking fantastic. Your jumper looks brilliant.
Yeah.
Magnificent you are. Magnificent creature. Well, you're talking about you're wanting to get anything that gets people moving is super awesome. What is it about getting moving? Obviously, you've moved all over the world. You've cycled around the whole world in a period of about 5 years, I believe. What is it that tickles that thing within you that makes you want to see other people doing it? What does it do for you, and what does it do for others?
Oh, I think there's quite a common universality actually in the wanting to go beyond the horizon and see what's over there. So often when I was traveling around the world, I would meet people, often quite young people, who were desperate to go to some of the places that I was going to, but just were completely unable to do so, will never be able to do so for either economic or political reasons. The fact that I could just wave around a British passport, go pretty much anywhere I wanted to in the world, I came to realise was a huge privilege. I think when I set off traveling around the world, I just assumed that it was just a thing that I could do. But once you start visiting lots of countries, you realise that actually it's a huge privilege, and that we have freedoms, both literal freedom, physical freedoms, but also economic and creative freedoms that so many people in the world are missing out on. That, and it seems to me just what the basic human right of that is missing. So it's a good thing to be trying to bring everyone together with this run.
Yeah, and then, it's so fitting that it's Human Rights Day today as well. And we're predominantly trying to show that love is a human right, really. But all of those things, that all that freedom of movement, that freedom of speech. I love the freedom of creativity, because that's the thing that I think, when you're in a situation where there is pressure put upon you, like your creativity is the thing that goes, isn't it? Like we all know that when we're struggling with our own mental health or whatever it is like that, the first thing that goes with that is your creativity. You're just trying to get through. But then I think getting active, getting outside, breathing fresh air in, that is for me personally, is a way where I have my best ideas, is when I'm out punishing my body, or just breathing in that fresh air, seeing the green surroundings of the mountains.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And that's something that I've missed so much this year, is just the wandering off to wide open empty spaces. And now I'm on a hill. I'm not very far from London, so it's not very epic, but this is the biggest, openest place I've been to in months. And just walking around here this morning, I just felt my soul expanding. So yeah, even small little pockets of greenness and nature just can do a lot for you. And I think that's a cool thing about trying to set yourself running challenges, needing to get out and train and get fit for it, because it's a build up to the event as much as the actual event itself.
Yeah.
It's dragging yourself out of bed when you can't really be bothered, but you get out into the countryside, come back home a happier, more creative, better person, ready to take on the day.
Yeah, and of course your thing is micro adventures, getting out, having an adventure from 5 till 9 in the evening till 9 in the morning. And have you learned things on those adventures, on the small adventures, but also on the big adventures, that our runners can learn from, before they set off today on their run? What advice would you give them?
Well, I think the advice before you set off on a run or an adventure, especially if, well, depending, Mr. Kiribati is probably okay, but for those of us who are facing some grey, cold rain, I think that the hardest thing you ever do, whether it's running or adventuring, is stepping out your front door and beginning. So if you've got any runners who have been very keen but are suddenly feeling that actually they can't quite be bothered, and maybe a night in front of Netflix is a better idea, I would say this: put on your trainers, step out the door, run the first 100 meters. You'll be glad you did it. You'll battle around the rest of the thing, and then you will have truly earned the right to sit on your sofa and vegetate later on.
I love that. Love it. Because it's just like that, isn't it? That first step out the door, that's the toughest one. Once you've done that, the rest of it's just child's play. You can just keep it going.
I have a rule, because I am at heart quite a lazy person. So I have a rule for whenever I go running, which is, any day, if I don't want to go running, I don't have to do it at all. All I have to do is put my running kit on and my trainers and go 100 yards down the road. And after that, I'm allowed to come home and eat cake all day if I want to. And of course, you never do. Once you've done that 100 meters, you think, oh, go on then. You've tricked me again. I'll go and do it.
What a brilliant rule. And you're I know you're worried about your son getting faster than you running. How's that coming along?
Well, I did my 10K early today, and I was actually thinking of that, and I was thinking, yeah, I'm not quite as quick as I used to think that I was. So yeah, I think that's going to be a losing battle sooner rather than later, which is a mixed blessing.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, what joy you're going to feel when you are beaten by him. It's going to be an absolute joy. But also, he's going to burn a little bit as well.
Oh yeah, I won't go down lightly. He still can't beat me at table tennis.
Oh, great. So one last question. What about, we've obviously got runners from every single country in the world. You're a man that's visited very many countries. If you could be running right now anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Oh, I'd be running along the River Nile in Sudan, because I was very nervous about going to Sudan. It has had huge problems with war, conflict, human rights issues. I was worried about how I'd be received there, but it turned out to be probably the most friendly, most welcoming country I've ever been to in my life. So I'd like to run between a couple of villages along the banks of the River Nile in the desert in northern Sudan.
Wow, great. I love that. I think, as you see, you've had this preconception. I think that's just one thing that we all have. We have a preconception of what a country is like, what the people are going to be like when we go there. And more often than not, you arrive somewhere and what you view of those people is completely wrong. They're at least as nice as you, if not nicer.
Nearly always nicer.
Yeah, nearly always. Yeah. Al, it's been a pleasure. I'm pleased you've done your run. I'm pleased you're wearing your shirt, and I'm pleased you found yourself some green to be in. And thanks for this and doing this Insta live, doing this live with us on Zoom. And it would be mega, Al, if after this, if you didn't mind doing just a little bit on Insta live yourself. That's still working. It's just I can't interview you on there, so it'd be wicked if you could.
Yep, absolutely. Happy to help. Keep up the good fight, Danny.
I know we're trying, aren't we?
You're doing great.
Thanks, man. Cheers, Al. See you,
Cheers.
dude.
Bye-bye.
Bye.